Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville, we are glad you are with us, and we have made it. What a weekend we have in store for us in the world of college football. Big games all over the country. You got LSU, Clemson, you got Miami, Notre Dame, you got Texas, Ohio State, and of course you got a big one at the newly refurbished Doak Campbell Stadium Saturday at 3:30 between Alabama and the Florida State Seminoles. Speaking of those Seminoles, let's go to Tallahassee. Jeff Culhane is the play-by-play voice for the Florida State Seminoles on the Seminole Radio Network, and Jeff is always kind enough to join us here on 1010XL in Jacksonville. Jeff, how you doing, man?
Ryan, great to talk to you. And if I'm talking to you, that means we got a big college football game coming up. So I'm doing great. We've been counting down the days for a long time, and what a great opportunity here coming up. You said it, newly refurbished Doak Campbell Stadium, which is just beautiful, with what Michael Alford has brought to the table and our Seminole boosters around the state. Great to be on in Jacksonville. A lot of great Noles in Jacksonville, Ryan, and so happy to be on with you once again.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate the time, and I want to preview the season, certainly preview Alabama. But, Jeff, there are a lot of Florida State fans over here that will be making the trip to Tallahassee to see the newly refurbished Doak Campbell Stadium. For longtime Seminole fans, how big of a difference will they notice on Saturday?
Massive difference. Absolutely massive difference. I mean, from everything to the concourses to the different bars that are available, the loge suites, the founder suites that many won't be able to get eyes on because those will be just restricted to those people that made that investment overall. And I tell you what, it makes a world of difference. And, you know, it's something from a standpoint where Doak Campbell Stadium it needed a little lipstick. And from a revenue generation standpoint, this is really going to help Florida State athletics continue to climb the ladder of where they are at in the ACC and really look to compete further with the big boys nationally. And it's a brand that is expected to compete for national championships. It didn't have the revenue generating opportunities within the stadium to be able to do that. But now it does on the west side. And I would go as far to say, Ryan, that for folks that sit on the east side, which is still, you know, the original version, if you will, or the most recent updated version, when they see that west side renovation, they're going to want to have something done to their side of the stadium as well. It is that impressive, and people will definitely see a massive difference when they have a chance to see it on Saturday.
Jeff Culhane, the play-by-play voice of the Florida State Seminoles. Jeff, I want to get to the Alabama game in a moment, but big picture as we start. Obviously, last year was, well, quite frankly, a nightmare for Florida State fans, everybody involved with that program. I don't think anybody saw 2-10 coming, but Mike Norvell has done things about that. A lot of new coaches, including Gus Malzahn, obviously a brand-new quarterback in Tommy Castellanos. Just talk about the change on the staff and the player personnel from where the season ended to where we are now.
Yeah, big differences, like you said. I mean, new coordinators, Gus Malzahn, Tony White, defensively, upgrades at those spots there, I believe, and new coaches as well, new assistant coaches. Terrence Knighton comes in with Tony White from Nebraska. Evan Cooper, a safeties coach, makes his way as well. He was with Tony at Nebraska. You've got Tim Harris Jr., who was the OC at UCF with Gus. Herb Hand, a longtime offensive line coach, joins the staff at Florida State and has worked with Mike Norvell and Gus nearly 20 years ago at Tulsa back in the day. So they started off together at another college football stop at a different time, Ryan. And so, you've got the new coordinators, the new coaching staff, and it's certainly something that was needed after last year turned into just an absolute nightmare, as you said. 49 newcomers on the roster, and quite frankly, we're all going to find out together what this college football team looks like, because there's so many new players that are going to have to go out and perform for Florida State to be successful. And that's at every level. You essentially have 5 new offensive linemen. Your starting quarterback is new. You have some new running backs, and Usman Chroma, a freshman, and Gavin Sawchuk, the Oklahoma transfer. New wide receivers, Deuce Robinson, Squirrel White, Javen Boggs from Cocoa, who's one of the best players in the state of Florida. Mr. Football his junior year just a couple of years ago. Randy Pittman, a tight end from Panama City Beach, is a newcomer that will be leaned on. Defensively, up front and at the linebacker spots, you've got, again, a lot of new faces with Jason Jenkins and also Deontay McCray, DeMonte Diggs, linebacker Elijah Herring, Stephon Thompson, who's been with Tony White going back to Syracuse and for 2 years in Lincoln at Nebraska. The secondary, it probably returns the most guys that were here a year ago, but there is also a transfer cornerback in Jerry Wilson from Houston, also was at Syracuse, that will turn into the vocal leader of this group. So there's a lot of guys that we have not seen in the Garnet and Gold before that we're going to see for the first time on August 30th versus Alabama.
Couple more for Jeff Culhane, the play-by-play voice of the Florida State Seminoles. Obviously, the quarterback position is going to be the most talked about. That is Tommy Castellanos. He is familiar with Gus Malzahn. They spent some time together at UCF. And I remember Castellanos at Boston College gave Florida State fits a couple of times up there. He now will be the play caller and the signal caller for Florida State. What has been the thought on Castellanos' arrival?
Well, he's a guy that, you're right, 2 years ago against that great 2023 defense, threw for 300 and nearly ran for 100 and almost pulled off the upset. And he was phenomenal that season. Last year, new head coach and Bill O'Brien, new offense, took a little bit of a step back, and those two just didn't really mesh together overall. But he was identified early on, Ryan, in the process of finding the next quarterback here at Florida State out of the portal by Gus, by Mike Norvell. He has that skill set that Gus Malzahn utilizes in this offense with a dual threat quarterback who is more efficient than people give him credit for throwing the football. If you look at his numbers, he has done a nice job throwing the ball over his 2 years at BC. And of course, those two were together at UCF. That's where Tommy started his career collegiately, coming out of Ware County and Waycross, Georgia, and South Georgia. So Tommy has the ability. Big thing for Tommy is, hey, you don't have to hit a home run every time there's a play to be made. It's okay to throw the ball away and punt the football and live to see another day. But this is an exciting young talent who is confident. He's got one season, Hack. He's got 1 year in Florida State. He's really come in, embraced the role to be the quarterback at Florida State University. And he's brought some much-needed leadership qualities this team was lacking a season ago.
Jeff, I love the college football landscape now because of all the big games we have coming up here on Labor Day weekend. I mentioned at the top, LSU Clemson, Miami Notre Dame, Texas, Ohio State. You can go on down the line, and clearly Alabama, Florida State is on that list. But it is kind of an interesting scenario. You brought it up earlier. 49 new guys on the Seminole roster, and unlike the NFL, where you get a couple of preseason games, you don't have that luxury. I mean, you're going to throw those guys out there on Saturday afternoon at Doak Campbell Stadium against the Alabama Crimson Tide, and it's go time.
Yeah, the challenge is daunting, without a doubt. And I think anybody would, and I know it's been talked about in college football, playing a scrimmage of sorts against another team in the spring. And I don't know if that's going to happen down the road, but it's something that's been discussed at different times. But you're right. It is it's a lot of new guys, Ryan, trying to mesh together, and you don't get to have a game versus an East Texas A&M or a Kent State. It's one of the all-time great programs in college football in Alabama coming to town. But Florida State obviously holds itself in high esteem, and the Seminoles are a blue blood themselves, even though last season was not what anybody would expect or anybody wants to see happen ever again. But what a fun opening weekend. I mean, all these great matchups you brought up. And how about the ACC versus the SEC, Ryan? All these ACC-SEC matchups across the board. Clemson and LSU, Syracuse and Tennessee, Virginia Tech and South Carolina, Florida State and Alabama. If the ACC wants to quiet the SEC narrative on the, that's out there in social media and be chattered about, this is how you do it. You got to win these kinds of games and take advantage of the opportunities. And so a great chance for the ACC in big games in the opening weekend to go out and maybe change the perception a little bit around college football.
Jeff, final question. I mean, this is Florida State University. This is Chief Osceola, Renegade, the Garnet and Gold, and obviously they want to get that 2-10 taste out of their mouth as much as anybody. What an opportunity on Saturday. I know they're obviously big underdogs, and Alabama is certainly the overwhelming favorite. But if you're Mike Norvell and you're that staff and you're those players and you want to erase the nightmare of 2024, boy, what an opportunity you have on opening day in 2025.
Well, a win does it. That's for sure. A win takes away all the heartache and heartburn and disappointment from a season ago. And I think it recalibrates the expectations to a certain degree as well, depending on how you look in doing it. And you have to play great to beat Alabama because they'll be ready to go. I know there's some frustration with Kalen DeBoer in year one. He's a great coach. I mean, he's a tremendous coach. He got Ryan Grubb back as well, his play caller at Washington and years beyond that. Didn't have him a year ago, so that is a move they made to improve, and it's a great opportunity, like you said. And, even if Florida State doesn't win this game, Hack, I think there's really a chance the way Florida State's ACC schedule sets up to be able to put themselves in position to play in the ACC title game in Charlotte at the end of the year. And so this game is the one we're all talking about. It's extremely important, to say the least. You win this one, and wow, you feel really, really good about yourselves and look forward to what could be an extremely exciting college football fall of 2025.
Jeff, for Seminole fans making the trip over to Tallahassee from Jacksonville on Saturday, they're going to listen to the pregame broadcast. What can they look forward to?
Yeah, I would encourage everyone, download the FSU Game Day app. Free to download. You can take us with you wherever you go. Listen to our broadcast, the FSU Game Day app. And would encourage you to bring your AirPods as well. You can listen to us without delay now in Doak Campbell Stadium and watch the game as well in that FSU Game Day app. So make sure you get it, download it, bring the AirPods, charge up the phone, and we're going to have a fun day Saturday with Alabama in town.
Jeff Culhane, the play-by-play voice of the Florida State Seminoles. He will be on the call for Alabama and Florida State, 3:30 this Saturday afternoon. Jeff, I know you're extremely busy. Thank you for the time. We'll talk again soon, pal.
Always good, my friend. Thanks for having me on.
Rick Ballou here. Thank you so much for watching 1010XL Seminoles on YouTube. Before you click away, please like and subscribe to this channel. Be sure to check out other team-specific channels on 1010XL Network and YouTube.